Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, and today I'm giving you guys my review of the latest episode of The Owl House. Now before we get into the review, obviously as always I do have to remind you that if you like my content, please consider clicking on the subscribe button, like, share this video, and if you are a subscriber, remember to click on the bell icon to let you know every single time I post a new video. It's really going to help support the channel. Now with that being said, let's get on with the actual review. Now, when it comes to this latest episode of The Owl House, unfortunately, this review in itself won't be all that long. It shouldn't last for at least 2 minutes or so. I don't know, you'll see. And in all honesty, there really isn't all that much to talk about when it comes to this episode. You know, it's the typical body swap episode. It's this trope that we've seen over and over and over again, and in all honesty, it's not all that interesting to me. It's kind of tired, it's played out. I'm just not all that interested in it, and I think this is the first time I watched an episode of The Owl House and I just got legitimately bored. Like I don't understand what they were thinking of with this episode. It's just none of the storylines were interesting. Nothing that happened with the characters helped move the story forward at all. We're all basically exactly where we were at the beginning of this episode. I think this is one episode that I think once the season is over, you can just tell someone that you can just completely skip this episode and they won't miss a damn thing. So let's go over the basic plot of the episode. So basically, like I said, this is a body swap episode. It's the typical, like, oh, you don't know how hard it is for me with my life. And, this person thinks that it's like the other person has it so easy. So someone does something that leads to the typical body swap. Now, in this episode, Luz is seen trying to help Ida with her stand, but then Ida's telling her, listen, you can't do that. Basically what she does is she puts up a giant neon sign, and Ida tells her, like, you can't do that, you can't draw attention to me because remember, I'm a wanted criminal, which is correct. I don't know why Luz did that. It's like she actually just completely forgot that fact, although I honestly can't blame her because they barely even mention it. Like in the previous episodes, it's barely even mentioned that she's a wanted criminal. And when it comes to King, he's basically he's trying to tell them that, look, he's basically telling Luz that she has life so easy because being a teenager isn't all that hard. And yes, I'm pretty sure just by me saying that you can already guess where the story's going. And Luz is jealous of Ida. She says, oh, like, because Ida has all this magic and it's so easy to her, and yada yada yada, and so on and so forth. And Ida tells King that he has it so easy because like his life isn't all that hard. And she says, oh, well, there's one way to solve this. Let's do a body swap. So she just performs a spell that just swaps everyone's bodies. King is now in Luz's body. Luz is now in Ida's body, and Ida is now in King's body. So we follow each of them as they're living in the other person's body. First, we follow Ida and King, and she's going around, and at first, as usual, things go well, but then things just go wrong. Again, not something we haven't seen before. And it kind of sucks because, again, like, it's just, even though this is a tired trope, they could have at least done something interesting with it. Maybe while Luz is trapped inside Ida, maybe something could happen with the whole Emperor's Coven that could give us some more information on who they are and why they're so obsessed with Ida. And maybe Luz by proxy can learn something about Ida, like something maybe we didn't know. And as a way, the writers could introduce to us some new information about Ida that we didn't know, but they didn't do that. And it sucks. I feel like it's kind of a missed opportunity. So anyway, with that being said, let's go back to Ida in King's body. So Ida, everything's, like I said, it's going well, but then she walks into this one shop where these two old ladies, and they're treating her well until she finds out that she's being trapped here. And I guess, haha, it's supposed to be a joke on some of those, I don't know if you know them, but they're called cat cafes. Basically, it's where you go and you can basically play with cats as you're drinking coffee. It's one of those places. Look them up if you want to know what they are. And she doesn't want to be there, so she gets upset. She wants to go out, she wants to leave, but the two old ladies go crazy and they try to keep her trapped there. And then we cut to King in Luz's body. So with King, it's kind of not really all that interesting. He's basically like finding out what it is to be a teenager, and he gets involved with some of the other kids in the school, the kids who are always mean to Luce. And she basically, or excuse me, a King as Luce, basically ends up finding out that being a teenager is a lot more difficult, and for some reason, they try to attack her because this one chick, she likes being the one in charge. And like when King came over and he basically took over, she challenged him to a race that ended up going horribly. It ended with their tree house, or their sort of hangout, ends up being destroyed. So now they want to kill him. Why? I don't know. It's dumb. And then we cut to Ida as, or excuse me, Luce as Ida. And at first she thinks that everything's fine. She tries to perform magic, but obviously she learns that being able to control all that magic isn't so easy. Like, you need to actually know what you're doing, which I guess is kind of nice for her to know that. Like, I'm happy that she wasn't able to just instantly learn how to use magic just because she's in Ida's body. Like, she doesn't know what Ida knows. So I guess, yeah, that's good. That's good. I like that. Anyway, one of the guards eventually shows up and he says, "Hey, remember, you're a wanted criminal," basically reminding us that yes, she is a wanted criminal, and he tries to catch her. She basically does get caught, and while she's there, her sister comes back and she tells her, or she thinks that Ida got caught on purpose because she wants to join the Emperor's Coven. And although one thing that we did end up learning from her sister, that Ida apparently at one point did want to join the Emperor's Coven, although apparently something happened that ended up changing it. What it is, we don't know, but I guess so. We did learn that little bit, but just that little bit in an entire 22-minute episode, it's like, okay, well then what was the point of everything else? It just felt unnecessary anyway. So Ida, or Luce as Ida, manages to escape. Okay, that's fine. So she runs away. She meets up with King and Ida takes her staff and she uses the spell to switch them back. And anyway, they get cornered by the teenagers, the guard, and the old ladies. And what ends up happening is Ida basically does this body swap spell on everyone else. And while everybody else is running around confused, they use this chance to escape. And there it is. The episode ends. So with again, you can just completely skip the episode. Other than that little tidbit of apparently Ida at one point wanting to, it turns out she wanted to join the Emperor's Coven, but maybe something happened that ended up changing her mind. I don't know. Well, we'll have to wait and see. But again, like an entire episode just to find out that one little bit of information is just, it's not worth it. I mean, come on, you could have done better. You could have done better. But other than that, I think that you can just completely skip the episode. Maybe they'll allude to it in a future episode. So other than that, yeah, there's not really much to talk about when it comes to this episode, which is a shame. I guess every show has at least one useless episode. So I don't know. It's kind of a shame. I was kind of hoping that this would not be one of them. So that's it for the Owl House, or this latest episode of the Owl House. Join me next time for my review of the next episode. Thank you so much for watching. You guys have been awesome. Let me know your thoughts on the episode if you watched it in the comment section down below. And again, like, share, subscribe. If you haven't, click on the bell icon to let you know when my next review goes up. You guys have been awesome, and if you want another way to support my channel, there is a link in the description box down below. Consider checking that out. You guys have been awesome, and I hope you join me on my next one. Bye.